The gradual increase in the overall temperature of the Earth's atmosphere due to the increase in levels of carbon dioxide attributed from the greenhouse gases is known as global warming. Hello, it's me Agrata, and in response to the many questions we received about climate change and global warming, the students of Valley View School have prepared a clear and concise explanation on this topic by receiving views and ideas from our teachers, elders, juniors, and friends. So, let's see what answers we can receive from them.
Okay, let's start with our first question today. How could you help with school energy conservation and emission reduction in your opinion?
Okay, as a student, I believe that there are many ways through which I can reduce the energy consumption. The first ways in which I can reduce the energy consumption could be by relying more on natural sunlight and by reducing the use of unnecessary lighting, and then by saving paper and electricity could also be important in this regards.
Okay, so moving on to the next question. What's your views on energy saving and emission reduction?
My views on energy saving and emission reductions are that, first of all, we and our environment are very closely related. Therefore, our well-being can only be guaranteed by conserving and preserving our environment. So, in order to conserve and preserve our environment, various things can be done. The first thing could be by saving paper, electricity, and other energy resources. In this way, we will not only reduce the emissions but also conserve our environment and will result ultimately in our own well-being.
Then, what are some suggestions you would like to give for energy saving and emission reduction?
There are suggestions that I can give on energy saving and emission reduction. The first suggestion could be that we have to focus more on natural methods of sunlight, and then we have to develop a sustainable environment in our locality in order to conserve our environment.
Then I would like to know your personal views on the practice of your juniors for maintenance of eco-friendly environment.
Various activities are being done in junior level in order for environmental conservation. For example, incorporating eco-friendly practices in the courses and also organizing programs on Environmental Day. On the primary level, these seem satisfactory, but there are many other things that can be done as well. So the first thing that could be done could be by incorporating more sustainable and more programs in order for encouraging the juniors in order to practice and participate actively in eco-friendly activities.
So lastly, I would like to ask you, what are some suggestions you would like to give to your juniors for practicing for eco-friendly environment?
Okay, the first suggestion I can give is that the general awareness should be utilized in our daily life, and then we can develop a sustainable environment within our own locality in order for protecting the eco-friendly environment within our own society. This will result in the environmental conservation of the whole world ultimately.
Great, thank you so much for the interview today.
You are welcome.
Okay, so we are here to take a short interview with grade 7 student. Do you know anything about carbon emissions?
Yes, I do know about carbon emission. It simply states the release of carbon dioxide gases in the air.
And has your school conducted any sort of relevant training?
No, not a particular one, but yes, it has provided us with a vast knowledge on this topic.
And what kinds of low carbon actions can be taken in your opinion?
In my opinion, the best method is afforestation. We can also avoid using old vehicles, burning fuels, plastic bags, and smoke from the factories.
How can you control carbon emissions reduction, and how is it beneficial for every one of us?
According to me, whether we are at home, office, or school, or also when we travel, small changes can add up.
Yes.
So, if you want to reduce our carbon footprint, we'd have to do some steps, or we need to follow some steps or do some things. For example, we should conserve the amount of energy we use. We should travel smart, we should shop locally, and reduce the waste.
Okay, so this was a short interview with a grade 7 student.
Hello everyone, today we are from Valley View School to take interview of our teachers, so let's begin.
And could you tell me what is low carbon, carbon footprint and carbon neutrality?
Okay, so as far as I know, low carbon means less carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, whereas the carbon footprint is just the amount of carbon dioxide released due to various kinds of activities in the environment. So what about carbon neutrality?
Okay, while talking about this carbon neutrality, it means that the emittance of the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, and the absorption of this carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, and that makes the balance in this ecosystem that is known as carbon neutrality.
So ma'am, what do you think green and low carbon education is like?
So green is especially signifies the environment, in my opinion. So green and carbon education is related to just making the environment friendly and less emitting less carbon dioxide.
What do you think the role of green and low carbon education is?
So low and green carbon education means making the people understanding by designing the courses and the practical education and making them aware that not to pollute the environment.
So ma'am, what is the difficulty in carrying out green education in your opinion?
Today's world is a very modern world, and they all are very busy with their all electronic gases and their own stuff. So I think they are not concerned about how to improve the environment, how to cope up with this problem in today's world.
So ma'am, what do you think the most effective scheme for green and low carbon education is in your opinion?
So as far as I think so, this green and low carbon education can be provided simply by making each and every age group involved in such kind of activities which may hamper the environment.
Do you have any better suggestion or views on green and low carbon environment?
According to my understanding, that all ages groups, they should be known, or they should make known about this sustainable development and contemporary issues, that how the modern world people, they are being easy in the materialistic life, and they are not concerning about the environment. Those kind of issues, those kind of trainings, practical classes, that should be designed everywhere, that should be given to everyone.
Is there anything in the school that can improve green and low carbon?
School is the place where we get to learn about the environment, and this is the basic needs that which we will be learning for our future. So I think one thing that can be reduced is by using the electric transportation, isn't it? So that can be one.
In a similar way, street drama that can be shown in the classroom in the schools, and similarly course designing and other kind of rhyming competition based on the environmental issues. If those kind of things can be done, the students, their mindset will be in the environmental favorable. So these are the things that can be done at school.
So thank you ma'am and sir for coming in our interview. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am here with two grade 9 students taking an interview about global climate change. Do you think the number of birds in the urban area has decreased a lot?
Yes, I do think the number of birds in urban area has decreased a lot. The number of birds in the urban area has decreased due to climate change and increase of temperature.
What's your attitude towards garbage disposal in your area?
My attitude towards garbage disposal in my area is that it lacks the encouragement of proper waste disposal, and there is irregular collection of waste.
Are green areas decreasing or increasing around your accommodation?
Due to establishment of commercial sites, the green areas around my accommodation are decreasing.
From your perspective, is global temperature increasing?
Yes, I think that global temperature is increasing. I assume it is due to the continuous burning of fossil fuels in our city, in industries.
Do you think the season and number of insects in urban areas are unusual than before?
Yes, I agree that the seasons and number of insects have drastically changed. Waste management in our city is not sincerely done as to why pollution is increasing day by day. This is the main cause for the number of insects to unusually change and the seasons to change too.
Do you find if the length of the seasons in Kathmandu has changed?
Yes, I do find that the length of the seasons in Kathmandu has changed. The length of the summers have increased, whereas the length of the winters have decreased. I also found that this is due to global warming.
So, I'm here to take an interview of our elder sister,
So without any further delay, let's get started. And my first question is, what has been the most impressive change in Bagmati River in recent decades?
There hasn't been much impressive changes, but I do know that Bagmati cleaning campaigns have been conducted, and the river has been getting cleaner from comparison to the past.
And do you know what carbon emission reduction is?
Yes, I do. Carbon emission means the gas carbon dioxide being emitted into the air by the burning of fossil fuels or through industries. Carbon emission reduction is reducing the emission of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere.
Similarly, do you know how many kinds of garbage classification do we have in our country?
We have two types of garbage classifications, classifying them into biodegradable and non-biodegradable waste.
So what kinds of low carbon action can be done in your views?
In my opinion, the use of fossil fuels should be reduced, use of alternative sources of energy, renewable sources of energy, and activities that pollute the environment should be lessened more and more.
And my last question for you is, what are the benefits of carbon emission reduction?
By the reduction of carbon emission in the atmosphere, we can, first of all, main point, we can reduce pollution. After that, it also, carbon dioxide mainly contributes in increasing the average temperature of the earth, so we can reduce global warming. And after we reduce global warming, there will be automatic less effect in climate change too.
Thank you so much for your informative answer.
Finally, the interviews are over. Hope you all liked the interviews, and I am looking forward to hear feedbacks from you all. I'd like to thank all the participants for performing and producing such a great interview. I'd also like to thank our science teacher Bimal Adhikari sir and our coordinator sir KP Mainali sir for the help they provided us and making this project a grand success. As it was our first project related interviews, we are very proud as this project came out excellent. We learned a lot from this project and will do better in the upcoming days. Thank you all for tuning in till the end.